Hello and welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. We have 3 people this week. Jason is back. He has saved the kittens. How are the kittens? How are the kittens? I just got to know.
So, I am being under investigation for arson.
Oh,
I walked by a building and I thought, man, I hate cats. And so, I think by number 13, right? You guys were estimating 13.
13 cats.
Yeah. By the time I was dragging the 13th out of there, I was just, I kind of regretted the move. I was thinking, as I doused a litter of kittens in gasoline, I was thinking to myself, worth it? I hate cats, but no, I regret it. So that's what you guys saw me doing is just I made a dick move, bad choice.
So there are just 13 gas-soaked kittens out there somewhere.
Yeah, be careful where you toss your cigarette butts. You might. And yeah, sometimes you just don't make the best choice, and I decided that maybe Cats and we could maybe try again sometime. I harbor a lot of ill will towards my former cat. She moved out. She lives in Michigan now.
Oh, good.
She's chewed up every cord I ever had, every important cord I ever owned. She chewed up, and then I put the pet ick stuff on it. Logan, are you familiar with the pet ick?
I've heard of pet ick. Yeah, it's not.
So Caleb, there's a spray. So you put the icky spray on it, on the paper towel, and then you take your cord so the cat doesn't chew it, because every time they taste it, it's like bleh. And then what happened was I would move those cords around, and then I'd inevitably be like, I would touch it and then forget to wash my hands or something. This is before not washing your hands wouldn't kill you.
I thought for a second you were like just picking up your cord and licking it. Like
that's not a thing you're supposed to do.
I touched the cord and then I licked my finger, or like I grabbed a chip. I thought you were just grabbing the cord and like, oh, yum. Just seeing what the obsession was, why the cat was into it.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
Okay. I have a cat. I know he may not always be everybody's. My cat is friendly, but
we had a female cat, and I hear they're dicks. Boy cats are fine.
Boy cats are, yeah, they're nice to a point. They're still cats. They're still dicks. Anyway, we're back. Full team here. Gosh, what's everybody been doing this last week? Did you do anything other than light cats on fire? You were more enjoying the the life of trying to hide from the FBI there for a while. So
can I give my prediction? I already said this to Logan. I want to give my prediction on what you did while you were gone.
Sure.
I'm gonna say that you went to GameStop, and you picked up a PlayStation Vita, and you loaded that up with Persona 4, and then you just spent an entire week just powering through that game.
I like your version of my life better than my actual life, Caleb. That sounds pretty all right. Sounds good. No, I went to the beach and did some kayaking, built some sand castles. I ate some corn fritters. We looked up a corn fritter recipe and we fried them. It was pretty good. I made some cheeseburgers, some hot dogs. Ate a lot of Doritos, as one is to do on vacation.
Yes. A thing.
I had what do you guys think the over/under milkshake intake was for me on vacation?
I'll set it at 4.5.
Okay, Logan.
How many days were you there again? Remind me.
Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, I'm going 6.
3 milkshakes.
Just figured every day.
3 milkshakes. 1 from a store and 2 homemade.
Wow.
Yep. So that was my week. It would have included some relaxing daily fantasy action, but the NBA kind of took a break.
Yeah.
So I actually sat my phone down. Do you guys get screen reports? iPhone user?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every week it comes out with one.
So I got an alarming screen report was that yesterday? Yesterday was Sunday. You were down 44%, an average of 4 hours and something a day down.
Hey, this is what happens when you actually enjoy nature. Oh, boy.
Whoa. Without daily fantasy. I even the kids went to bed and there was no sports at all.
Yeah.
And I picked up my phone and I was like, I just sat it down and I stared at Guy Fieri cooking in his backyard for 35 minutes before I went to bed. And it was on mute. I watched Guy Fieri on mute for 35 minutes.
Is that the best version of Guy Fieri or the worst
It
version
might
of Guy
be.
Fieri? I don't know.
I've come all the way around on that dude. All the way around. He used to drive me crazy. He's a good guy, that guy.
Guy?
He's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all right. He's done some, especially during the pandemic, what he's done for restaurant owners is pretty cool. And
I've not paid
maybe
attention.
I'm older now, but I actually like him a lot more than I used to. It's weird. He used to annoy me, and now I think he's okay. Who doesn't want 25 sauces? Come on.
Don't watch a lot of Food Network, so I only know him from peripheral commercials and things like that. That's about all I got. I had a whole thought. It's gone. You're not. So you don't really have you're not a game phone guy. Like you don't play a lot of games on your phone, do you?
No, that was probably a gap for me that I could have filled if I was thinking about it. I was an early adopter of Tapped Out years ago. In fact, I don't think I had an iPhone when Tapped Out came out, and I was playing it on an iPad. And I showed it to you, Logan.
And I played a lot of Tapped Out after a while, and then I played the Family Guy one that was.
I played too much of the Family Guy one.
Yeah, I got to the point on all that where I was so caught up on everything that I was just waiting for events to happen. And
yeah, but then the events would come out and you couldn't get everything unless you started spending money. And that's where I said, nope, uninstall.
Yeah, that's pretty much when I quit too. I was like, okay, I did everything I possibly could without buying stuff. Now I'm just stuck here. So, but yeah, played a lot of those of the Family Guy and Simpsons. Caleb, you tried the American Dad one, didn't you? And it was really bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I never did try it because you said it was how bad it was. So,
Caleb, from a monetization standpoint or just playing it standpoint, was it bad?
Both. It wasn't really set up like those other two. It was more of a an old RPG, like old Final Fantasy style, where you'd have certain amount of people on one side and a certain amount of people on the other, and they would auto battle each other. It was
auto
bad.
battle. Oh
yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, this actually. I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds okay.
But everybody on your team is a Roger, so it was just like you'd have 3 or 4 Rogers dressed up in different. Like one would be a cowboy Roger and
also still intriguing. Was Ricky Spanish an option?
No, they weren't like his actual.
Oh, not his actual personas.
No.
Oh, well then that's
it was literally like Cowboy Roger.
They're coming up on their 300th episode here soon, and I think they're doing I think this weekend TBS is running all weekend, just nonstop American Dad. And just as in a celebration of that, and I think Monday is the 300th episode.
You know what's amazing? Speaking of that, is that Treehouse of Horror is coming up. It'll be the 4th episode in the new season of The Simpsons, and it is episode number 666.
Oh, that's fantastic!
That is awesome.
That awesome. Could not. I mean, they had to have set that. I mean.
You'd think, yeah.
If it gets that close, you're like, okay, we'll push one more episode in or out depending on how Halloween falls this year. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call. Oh man, I guess we kind of were talking about American Dad here. You guys caught up on American Dad?
Yeah, I'm a few episodes behind. I think I finished.
Season's been kind of hit and miss for me. Go ahead, Jason.
Sorry, I finished the one today where I can't remember. The side story was about Stan needing to throw a party, and then they all got tired and fell asleep on snot, and he couldn't reach his insulin.
That's actually, I think, only 1 or 2. You're only 1 or 2 weeks behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Francine was trying to sabotage Haley because she had businesswoman ideas, and she made the what was it? The meat strings and the spaghetti balls was her
Oh
business
yeah.
idea. Meat sketty or something like that.
Gosh, what was that called?
I
No,
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember. Yeah.
gosh, I
That
can't
It was
was
believe.
funny though.
not my favorite episode.
It's just more just annoyed. I can't remember what it was now. Obviously, it wasn't that funny that it was that I remember what it was. I'm trying to see if if that episode had a name. It was just called Businessly Brunette was what it was. Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
there was no Roger Needs Dick or
That
the,
oh,
one that's one of the best ever.
and then the Old Country episode where he finds out he's Canadian. That was
Also really good.
those were two back-to-back solid episodes.
Yep.
So yeah, those were good. Video game wise, you guys been playing anything? Jason, obviously you were on vacation for a week, but anything else that you played before that or anything?
I played actually on vacation a little bit throughout. I played Ghost of Tsushima
Oh,
still,
you
so
brought
I'm
your
still
PlayStation
playing
with you?
that.
Okay.
Yep, I'm still playing that. I'm warming on that game quite a bit. I really do enjoy it.
I do think it gets better the more you get into it, I think.
Quite a bit more.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues with it is that it doesn't reveal itself. I've said this before about games, but I don't think that game reveals itself enough to you early on because you could kind of choose your own adventure, right? And that's good. But if you side quest too much without doing mainlining missions, there's a lot of stuff you unlock as you mainline more of the game. And so if you decide you're going to clear out an area and then you're going to just do side quests and stuff, then you don't have some core abilities. Like there's an assassination through doors that I just unlocked, and I've literally been trying to do that for 15 hours. And then all of a sudden it's like, you've unlocked this ability, and it's freaking badass, but it's something I should have had almost from go.
Yep.
Like, and that's my only frustration with it is because I'm unlocking more stuff and I'm enjoying it more, but some of that stuff I like. It's no wonder. I bet there are a lot of people like you, Logan, that
Hmm.
aren't going to see enough of it to comprehend what is so good about it because it gates it for too long.
Yeah.
But I do. It does scratch that itch of just diving in there. I'm not thinking a whole lot, and I can like play 2 hours of it, and it feels like 5 minutes, just because
Are
you're
you
just kind of going.
still in the first area, second area?
I just unlocked the south part of the top island,
Okay.
so
This game has what, 3 acts, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
just finished Act 1. Caleb,
Okay.
that's Act 1.
Okay.
I really like that game a lot. It's kind of very, very good at what it's doing.
Yep.
Because
But
Caleb,
that's it.
yeah, you finished that a while ago now, didn't you? You
Yeah.
kind of plowed through that thing.
Yeah.
It's
How many hours, Caleb?
Oh man, I don't even know. I don't think there's an hour count
I don't
in
think so.
the save file. I would guess probably 50 or 60, but I mean that was the platinum for me. So if you don't do
Maybe-
everything in there, and you don't have to do everything for the platinum either. You only have to do like half of the collectibles to get those.
That might happen to me naturally then. But I can tell, especially after Act 1, I was like, man, I've been playing this for like 20, 25 hours. And
wow.
I'm not further than Act 1, which is fine. I think we've talked about the other stuff that's out, but or you guys did last week, sorry. Some of the recent Game Pass stuff especially, but everything else is, I'm not bite-sized isn't the right word. Just different. Maybe not AAA, not AAA, but not indie. You know, so that middle area we've been talking about.
There's like a new indie AAA. I feel like there's like these small games that are now refined and polished
Triple
enough that
I think is the
triple
term for
I.
that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I know. I don't really like it either, but
Is that what people use? Is that an
yeah, I
industry
think
term?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, Speaking of
That's it for me.
all right, speaking of triple I games, ew. I have pretty much exclusively been playing Spiritfarer. Uh, you guys are gonna play that game. Caleb, have you touched it yet?
Yeah, I have not yet,
Okay.
but I definitely will.
You guys are gonna pull that up and play it, and you're gonna go, "Why in the hell does Logan like this game? And why is he?" I'm probably 12 hours in at this point
Mm.
of I think a 20-ish hour game. Uh, that game is Stardew Valley. It's good. So here is what it is. It's Stardew Valley without the restrictions. Like you
Without
don't
like the time.
without the time restrictions, without the I went out mining. Oh, I've done 4 of them. I guess I'm tired now. I guess I got to go back. Um, yeah, it lets you do what you want to do when you want to do it. The only thing that it doesn't let you do is sail at night. And all you have to do is you're on your boat anyway, so you just go up, press X that you want to go to bed, and you're in bed and right back awake in 10 seconds. And you're back right at it. So otherwise there's no time restrictions or anything. But yeah, there's farming. There's like you're doing errands for people, you're doing different things. You've got multiple quests up at any given time for 4 or 5 quests going on that you're working on for the different spirits that you're working with. There's multiple resources and how you need like things to build houses and do different things where you like, oh, I needed to build a sawmill so that when I pick up wood, I can actually cut it into planks. And there's a loom where you actually need to turn linen into fiber and then fiber into fabric. But it's all the way you do it is pretty quick and easy. They're like little mini games to do that kind of stuff. And each of the characters that you start to pick up, like at one, it's kind of like as soon as you're falling off of their character arc, you start to pick up someone else's character arc, and it flows pretty well through everything. I would say the only thing is that not everybody's character is great, like that you find. Some people have a nice story behind them. Some are just kind of blah. Um, and then others have like there's like one that has more of a comic relief kind of piece of it. So each character has their own thing. It's just I guess more what you're into. But yeah, I find that I'm playing that a lot, especially throwing up like a basketball game on one screen and throwing that Spiritfarer up on another, and it's a nice, calm game to play.
It's a good thing to have right now.
That's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
Are you playing that, Caleb?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
I definitely do want to.
Yeah,
I'm trying
that's
to
on my
finish
list.
a bunch of things that I've started before I start new games.
yeah. So the funny thing will be, you guys will pick this up, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's like Stardew Valley," and you're gonna be like, "This thing sucks." You guys are gonna hate it.
It's not like Stardew Valley enough.
It's not enough like it, or it's too much. Yeah, or I don't know. Either that, or you're gonna like it's not as good as it, or something. I don't know. Which is fine. It'll just be more funny if you don't think it's like that, then that's fine too. It's just more. That's what it reminds me of, I guess, is that kind of style.
Yeah.
How does going to bed feel? I mean, does it feel real good? Like, oh yeah, I've earned this. It's time to go to sleep.
No, because that's what I think that's what I hated about Stardew was having to go to bed.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think that's my favorite part.
see.
I understand what you mean. It's just the way
Mhm.
different things connect with people different ways. But
Mhm.
I get the frustration with Stardew in that way. I understand that. But that was
Mhm.
also, for whatever reason, like going to bed in that game, my favorite thing.
But the way you saved was going to bed, so then you'd wake up in the morning and be like, "Well, if I could just do this thing," and that's how the game got you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I just need to do one little thing. And then you do it and you're like, well, I got the rest of the day.
Right.
And then
And I can't save before that, so
you have to do something, and you're like, well, I got to finish that tomorrow.
Yeah,
And then it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and what has happened? Yeah, that's why I love Stardew.
and and at any point in time, you can press pause and save and quit to menu at any point, and you can do it right in the morning, middle of the day, on an island, on the boat. Doesn't matter.
While you're fishing.
While you're fishing, yeah, fishing is in that game was important at the beginning, but not so much anymore. Like my boat is so ridiculously massive at this point. Like once you start the game, you'll be like, oh, I have like one little room on it. I'm traversing that thing like crazy because there's just ladders all over the place. It's crazy how many rooms I've built on that that thing already. So yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up about it and let you guys play it at some point. Caleb,
That's
what?
next for me.
All right. Well, it's good. Yeah, I think next for me after I finish that, I'm gonna try this Avengers thing.
Yeah, somebody's got to
Yeah,
You're the man for
take
that.
the hit for us as our as our Marvel correspondent. That's your duty.
it is. Yeah,
You're the guy for it.
I'm nervous about it.
The only thing that I played, I finished Deadly Premonition 2.
Yeah,
The game is pretty disappointing.
from a story
I
standpoint or from just the gameplay? Because I remember you complaining more about how bad
yeah,
it played.
I love the way he makes stories and characters and the world that you're in. He's unlike nobody else. There's so many good ideas in that game. It's ridiculous. But playing it it's a chore. it's there's just it's just really really rough to play. You were talking before about having like turning on NBA and playing Spiritfarer. Like I had to have something else on or I could not play this game. It's like so
Oh
mind-numbingly
man.
dull. Like there are sections in that game where I'm like, please can this just end so we get on to the next story spot, because it's just not fun. But there's just like I want it to be good because like the story is really captivating and the characters in it are awesome, but it's just really hard to play.
So, is this Swery's fault or is this like everybody like does he have these great ideas and the people around him just can't execute on his
I,
ideas or?
I think they run into like small studio constraints, just not
Hmm,
enough staff, not enough time type of stuff. Because it seems like they're trying. uh, there might be too many ideas in it. Like if they
hmm.
would have stripped out the open world, if they would have stripped out, there's a whole skateboarding aspect to it that's really bad, but they went for it. Like if they would have like toned down what they were going for, like limit the scope a little bit more, I think they could have made it a lot better. But it's just he had a million ideas and each one of them got a week's worth of attention.
I'm trying to just look through a list of like Swery games. Does he just have too many ideas?
That could be it.
Like I feel like recently there's been a lot of Swery games like within the last this generation, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
He needs somebody. He needs to either do it himself or have somebody to edit for him a little bit. Like keep in mind your budget and your scope here, and make something good. 'Cause
'cause
I
like
love the way his mind works, but it's just he needs some help.
yeah, like I like D4. D4 was
D4
entertaining.
is awesome, but
D4
then
was
they
all
never
over the
got
place.
finished.
No.
So
The Missing, great.
yeah,
You tried The Good Life. Was that anything at all, or wasn't it like in
well
early access?
it's only a prototype that's out so far. It's not
Okay.
even a beta or anything. It's just a prototype.
Oh,
So
jeez. Huh. Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
I'm sorry to hear that, Caleb. I think especially the way you feel about one, that's a bummer.
one
When you
has
really,
it's kind of similar in that respect, but you can also forgive it a little bit because it's an early generation 360 game. Like people are trying to figure out how to make that stuff work, and you can kind of forgive it for some of that stuff. Also, you can unlock like weapons and stuff in that game that just make combat trivial. So
mm,
it's but two doesn't really have that stuff. So I don't know. It's just I wish that the gameplay was better because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
mm,
I have a hmm.
go ahead.
I have a breaking text message.
Okay.
Adult star Nicole Aniston said the number one reason she's attracted to a guy is lasting long enough to pleasure her. Logan, comma, satisfy her, and there's a link. I've not gotten a text message like this before. I didn't know what to do.
What kind of
Satisfier.
messaging service are you on?
I'm on my
Yeah, I know.
iPhone. Like, it's just like it's Verizon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is if anyone I know is going to receive that text message,
It was me. Yeah, that's fair.
it is you. We'll let the audience determine why, but it's you. That
That's
makes
fair.
sense to me.
All right. Well, it's deleted
makes
now,
sense to me.
but it's that was the thing. We'll see how many more I get. I guess we'll figure out what the next porn star.
We'll have to remember that time when Logan could have pleasured her, but chose not to.
I just don't want to last long enough. That's the thing. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else this week? We were gonna kind of keep it short this week because we're doing The Last of Us spoiler cast here.
The only other thing I was going to ask you guys is if you've watched any Lovecraft Country yet.
I've not.
Okay.
No, it's on my list.
I want to finish Perry Mason before I start that. With all the basketball, I just haven't been watching a lot of TV. Oh, I did finish season 1 of Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Excellent. Very, very excellent.
I would say the season 2 is even better.
And I'm even after finishing season 1, I was like, where do you go from here? But I've heard you've said before that season 2 is even better. So, wow, I've very pleasantly surprised with season 1 of Harley Quinn. That definitely was. I thought it was going to be really bad and cheesy, and it's definitely not. It is very well written, very well voice acted, well animated. I've got a lot of good things to say about that show. So that's.
Yeah, I'm just really curious to see what you guys have to say about Lovecraft Country, because that show is, I can't tell if I like it yet or not. Yeah, I finished episode 3, and it's bizarre. Like it moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour. There's nothing else like it. I'm really, and like it shifts genre, it shifts tone like all the time. It's crazy. So I'm really curious to hear from you guys.
I'll get there.
What
That's
you
for
think,
sure.
and help me determine if I like it or not.
Do I like this? Do I like things? I don't know.
I'm excited to watch that. I'm adding Harley Quinn to my list before I forget.
You definitely should, as a Batman fan, because boy, does this show kind of flip some different things on the Batman world, and in a pretty entertaining way. That's for sure.
Okay, cool.
I would say Batman's in it for what? Maybe of all 13 episodes of season 1, he's maybe in it 15 minutes.
Yeah,
at best.
That's good. He shouldn't be in that show.
No,
so
he's voiced by Diedrich Bader, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of the usual Kevin Conroys of the world, which is fine. Like I would almost rather have saved that Batman for a good Batman, like a serious Batman.
Yeah.
Because this Batman, well, he's still ominous. He's still a presence in that, but some of the other characters are just completely different. And I love it. So, all right. Anything else? Wrap it up and we'll dive into watch out for the separate podcast for The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2 spoiler cast and review. All right. See you guys in that part 2.
Next week. For the regular podcast.
Yes.
See you later for the Last of Us podcast.
Yep. Right. Something like that.
But something
special edition.
Wait.
Just keep clicking buttons. You'll go into the next one for those of you. All right. Something like that.